Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Overlord II. So we're potentially at the end. We have one of 4 remaining temples is what they're called, but they're not really temples, they're pavilions, statues. We found out that the Emperor is married to her mother, who was Rose, who was the mistress from the first game. Canonically speaking, Rose being the, I think, good girl option, and the one I didn't choose in the first game. It feels like we may not fight the second in command at all, and we're just going to jump straight to the Emperor. I'm wondering if there's a way, so this could be really short. It kind of comes down to, was the arena mode in the first game some DLC that just never got made for this second game, and was which would kind of make sense. Like the thing about DLC and why it kind of sucks is this whole game has felt like it's been unpolished, unfinished, and that really wouldn't change the odds of there being DLC made for it, because that would have been a completely different team, and that would have been designed and planned in such a way that that it is totally possible we will have some extra content here. Right now, if you were to buy all of the Overlord Ultimate Collection, you are going to get Fellowship of Evil. Why are these ghosted out like this? I don't know. You would get Fellowship of Evil, which is the insult to the series, really, in the fact that it, I don't think that makes it that far. I may have to leave this whole area, because these pots are mana pots, I guess, that are supposed to disappear, and this is supposed to be breakable in some way. Either that, or there's another way to get around to this area that I'm not seeing. Feels like this is pretty blocked off. We can hear people marching in the background. I use these bombs to open that pathway and that pathway. And when we went in here, we fought a fight, and when we fought the fight, I guess the music is telling me I'm going the right way. After we fought the fight, we got that cutscene where they just very flippantly said, "Oh, by the way, Rose is your mother, and she's the shadowy cloaked woman we saw before." She was introduced maybe a little too early in the game for what little she's gonna do, unless she turns out to betray you and is still working with the Emperor, who has sucked all the evil energy out of the land, all the magic. And it's overpowering him, she said. Maybe that's really the case, maybe it isn't. Maybe the Emperor is the Overlord from the previous game, or maybe he isn't. That is also a possibility, because it could be that in the Raising Hell DLC, the Overlord from the first game got trapped in basically hell, and then Rose, who would have been the mistress of the first Overlord, decided to remarry. So yeah, we're trying to get to the statue. I don't know how we get to that statue. So there's a path over here. Maybe you destroy this building, walk through this building, come down this way. Alright. So like the rest of the game, it's a very linear thing, And these reds are terrible. Like, I'm sweeping them all to break things and they take forever. We've gotten some money, enough to buy the best form of armor, but that probably won't matter unless we're going to have some more fights to do. We kind of need an arena mode or an extra boss or a whole nother level after this. So this is what we were supposed to do. Alright, drop that and get away. Explosions kill reds. I'd like it that if that wouldn't happen, that would be nice. You would think there should be something that's immune to being blasted. Yeah, I don't know if we're gonna fight this guy. He's kind of like the gnarl for the Emperor. Yeah, if you look at his skin, so he's telling them to drink from the fountain and turn them into zombies. Right. Put that there. I still like the idea of a potential black minion, a merger of the 4 original colors, and then maybe what you do is introduce 4 new colors. I mean, you've got red, blue, green, and brown. Brown being not a primary color. You could easily offset a lot of those colors. Just have a yellow, or you say brown is yellow. You could make yellow slightly less effective in fighting. You could have an orange, you can have a purple, black, and maybe even a white. And just by doing the artwork for that, if you were going to make any more Overlord games, which, let's face it, that's probably never happening, you could, just by having different color sets, color palettes, have some kind of co-op game or player versus player game that happens. These guys aren't dropping a lot of life force or money or anything, and once they've drunk and turned into zombies, they are definitely harder to kill. You can see I lost a decent amount of life force there. It's really not worth it to go through this and try and kill everybody. Also, I'm out of magic, so I can't really kill any more people. Not without spending a lot of effort to attack everything. We can try and break as much of the walls as we want for no reason. Yeah, if there's a reason to do this, it's probably not now. This is probably not the right time to be breaking all this. And if there was some quest or something around the idea of breaking all this stuff, that got left on the cutting room floor. So, a couple of columns. Missed. There you go. Might as well go for 100% completion here. But I'm hardly destroying everything in the environment. Yeah, people are always like super interested in having destructible environments in their games, but it doesn't ever really work to any real benefit. And I can't stand here and refill my mana. So destroy this last temple is what they say it is. These guys are so slow. Just do this.
Now head to the palace and bring down Salarius before he tries to terrify us with his stony silence and mask-wearing abilities.
Interesting. I'm walking the other way and it shows me a cutscene of the direction I'm supposed to go. These statues can't be broken, even though they're scaled up and slightly differently textured. I'll grab some browns while we're over here. Only reason we were using reds is because of the salamander mounts that at this point you can kind of tell are not anything of importance. Little bits of life, little bits of money. What's interesting, and clearly a mistake in this, is when you send minions after these guys, like that, they don't even really slow down the normal people. You would think that they would at least be disturbed enough that they can't run away from me so I can get closer and attack them. Stumble them a little bit. And I suppose we're still looking for any extra thing. And there's, I suppose, a chance that there's something extra. Oh, bits of gold. And we've got, I think, a storm brewing, just because they wanted that to thematically be the case. Perhaps that's why earlier on when we got in a catapult it caused a storm to brew. But that doesn't really make a lot of sense. I got another black lotus crystal. There could be a lot more game here. There definitely could, but I don't think there is. And I've stretched this game ridiculously long. Because I basically played the game twice, running through all the levels. Well, an Emperor's Palace. This could be full of some puzzles, or this could be nothing at all. Interesting that there was a platform here, a garden in the building, where we could teleport from. There might have been an achievement for breaking all of those things in the original game. Let's just get rid of a bunch of these. And get a bunch of these. All the browns I have that I have all died so many times that my high level browns are gone and just being replaced by level 1, basically level 4 minions. Nice door opening animation.
It's you, Scourge of Nature! I escaped the arena dungeons with the aid of a helpful fairy.
Damn! Thought we got rid of that tree hugger.
I'm going to find Solarius. He'll be a very different man when I finish with him. Let's bring this to an end. You and me, Scourge. You do the whole smash things up bit, and I'll back you up with inspirational monologues.
Clearly he's going to whinge at Solarius until he kills himself. Ooh, could work.
If only I'd been magical, Scourge. It could have been a very different story. Elves are meant to be magical, but I couldn't even make a weed grow. All the other creatures must tease me.
So I don't see a reason why he came back as a character other than perhaps in some just bad story writing feeling of obligation. It's like we can break all these things, but I don't know if there's anything in them. They're just breaking pots for no reason. And these are new, certainly. There's some weapons. We'll upgrade our armies. And that didn't do anything. Alright, fine. Take them on. Apparently my magic's not doing much, so I'll just get into the fight and smash them. Yeah, we're definitely running into scenarios where these guys are just too tight in formation and they just cannot be hurt or killed. Like, what am I supposed to have done there? Is there a bomb or something that we're supposed to use? And those guys are like, it feels like it's too long of a journey to walk back. And these guys are doing enough damage to me that like my full health is not doing anything. My full magic is not doing anything. One assumes that that's not bugged yet. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm gonna take 5 blues. I'm gonna take a bunch of greens. I'm going to take a bunch of reds. And maybe the greens are the ones that are supposed to take out those type of enemies. It just feels badly programmed. Like does not feel like something that should be. I've lost 9 minions in this fight, but they're tight enough that I don't think I can just kill them or run by them. And it's still like 4 of these guys here. Like, nothing is working. Yeah, and I had to get it down to 3 before they broke out of formation. That's ridiculous. And that's all my minions gone. So, yeah, what do you do with this? Am I going to end up at the end of the game and have no life force at all? No minions? Is this... Well, we haven't even gotten far enough where I could start to suspect that we were in a infinitely generating like dungeon designed to just wipe out all of our minions. But I can severely suspect that the strength of the people we just fought were way higher than most of the people we fought. And it's not really, it doesn't really feel like strength as much as it feels like a simple case of they are immortal.
Your predecessor Towerheart would unleash my potential, which is why I tried to steal it all those years ago. I mean, how was I to know it would become unstable and slightly explode?
So Florian caused the cataclysm. Bumbling elf.
So he's kind of he's the one that caused the cataclysm. Not that I kind of care. Like, as the evil overlord, it didn't really seem like it mattered to me. Our tower, the old overlord's tower heart being destroyed, is the old overlord's problem, not the new overlord's problem. But him being described and shown as just bumbling doesn't inherently make him feel like he's a bad guy. It just makes him feel like he's a stupid person and who whatever. Like, there's gold in between each of these lion heads. I'm trying to get all of that gold. Did we get it all? I might now have just about enough to buy a couple of things, but I still don't feel like I have enough to buy everything. Seems like there's a piece of gold that got stuck inside. And why is one of the chests facing the other way? Interesting. Guess it doesn't really matter. This feels like this is just taking us.
Started to fear magic, and along came Solarius. He just rose in a tide of their hatred and paranoia. He built the glorious empire, and they let him cleanse all the magical creatures he wanted to. You humans, just so much easier to control in a crowd, like one big dumb animal.
Is this guy, is Florian gonna turn out to be the Emperor? Or the real bad guy after all? That's a rather large amount of money. Just destroy some statues out of spite. Yeah, the most disappointing thing that could happen right now is we beat the final boss, it goes to end credits. You can either not load back into the game at all, or you load back into the game and it's before the final fight and there's kind of nothing else to do other than potentially decorate your Netherworld tower, which I thought at some point we would shift towers. That would have been something I would have wanted to have happen in the writing, is that we upgrade from a tower that looks almost exactly like the tower in Overlord 1, and I don't know if you even get into the tower in the Raising Hell DLC. But a nice castle like this, or a room nicely tiled and looking like this at some point would have been cool. And maybe we'll still get that. That is a possibility. We might just steal the Emperor's castle and turn it into our own tower. Doesn't feel like there's much more here. This is where the battery with all the stolen magic was.
Prepared for the ascension. People will talk about this day in whispers. And
Oh, do shut up, Marius!
sorry.
Anyone would think you were about to take over the world. Shall we continue? I assure you, your complete and total annihilation is just around the corner. As you can see, Florian still has his uses, helping me play with your little barbarian head for one. By maintaining him, I could bring the sanctuaries down from the inside, piece by piece. I really hope that piece of delicious irony isn't lost on you, Scourge. I collected the magic here, refined it and fed it back to my citizens until they became pliable and generous. Of course, I sampled a little, took what was mine. Hear my people's dreams and nightmares. Their fears, their will. They will be reborn in me as I rise from elf to emperor to god.
So I don't know if in that previous point when he was talking, if he was supposed to have been animated on the screen or not. They really didn't take any control of the camera away. And that was a terribly animated short transformation.
That thing's made of solid magic, and it's devouring everything in its path.
Alright, these guys are giving me some free minions, so I'll take that. And this looks like a chase sequence more than anything else. Just grab a bunch of blues, because if that's what we need.
Choose all.
So these guys will steal the magic, so it doesn't hurt me.
God is a wondrous sight.
Ew, looks more like the result of a giant sneeze. That magic energy didn't take kindly to its new host. Soured sire, just like the ooze in the
Lord, you are truly
Oops. I walked too fast and I was walking extremely short. Slowly. Man, this game is unfinished.
Revolutionaries, now is our our time to strike at the Empire! We need a hero of the people! You there! Attack it!
Why me?
We are all equal in the new People's Republic! The people have spoken! Get in there! No!
That thing's certainly hungry. Maybe if you can put a few meals on Lex's way, that might slow him down.
Alright. Can we maybe...
Those things covering it, beautiful pustules. They look better than the rest. Use your greens and reds to target them. Greens!
Greens, reds.
That's got him angry, sire. Keep this up and we might be able to extract Solarius from that pile of goo. See, that's giving it power.
So we've got minions all over the place. Trying to see if maybe enslaving some of these people would be a smart move. Doesn't seem really like it. I'm out of magic. So much for that. It's weird that we have these bushes that you can just walk through. And people everywhere.
Smell that from here. Blues.
I'm not sure how much of this we're really going to have to do.
Bow down to the great devourer!
I thought he had been eaten.
No, there must be balance. The cycle must be maintained.
I think what that wench is ranting about is that when the force gets out of control, another must rise to stop it.
There cannot be light without darkness.
And that darkness would be you, Master.
So did Rose become like a hero? And wasn't Marius the emperor? So was she married? Oh man, just got arrowed to death. Well, that sucks.
That thing's made of solid magic, and it's devouring everything in its path.
It's a demon! It's a demon!
Run away! Run away!
Let's get away. All of that. So, was she married to the Emperor and didn't know that he was Florian the Elf? Maybe. How many did that give me? 3.
Brown.
3 of everything except for browns.
Run away! Run away!
It's a demon! It's a demon!
Blues.
Alright, so we're in a problematic position here. It's been 30 minutes. We're right at the final boss fight. Had I not died, I would have gone further into this. We have 201 browns, 287 reds, 634 greens. So I should really just grab a ton of greens and sacrifice a bunch of them. 159 blues. We never had a point where we could put that final spell catalyst into the Halo spell. Not that it really matters. We're really still a little short on Black Lotus crystals. We're really high on red crystals. And we've got 15,000 gold, which is probably 2 upgrades that we could do. We at no point have found the remaining 489 gnomes to kill. And this definitely feels like it is the final battle. None of the things that we've done lately seems like they were moral decisions. So we may actually not get the full evil ending simply because we didn't grind and kill gnomes. That's going to be it for this recording. We'll very potentially be done in the next recording, or maybe there's a lot more to this game. It's hard to say. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend to follow me on any social media sites, there's a bunch of links down below. And if you want to support me even further, there's a link to Patreon, or you can friend me on Steam and gift me a game off my wishlist. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.